Stephen Hardaway Morris, better known as Stevie Wonder himself, musician, legend, icon. Born May 13th, 1950, 75 years old. Also known as Stephen Hardaway Jenkins, musician, icon, music artist. Stevie Wonder is a music legend, icon. He has so many great hits. Songs like Isn't She Lovely, I Wish, Superstition, and so many others. He was born in Saginaw, Michigan. He could play the piano while blind. Much like Ray Charles, he was born a blind man. But that never stopped him from playing music before. This man was a little baby when he started playing the piano. This man had the skills and the talent. Mm, mm, let me re- mm, hello. Mm, mhm, mm, mm, mm. Let's get born in. Mm. Stevie Wonder, legend, superstar. He performed all over the world. I, the guy is a professional artiste. Living for the City is another Stevie Wonder song. Mm. This guy has performed many years. He's been on stage for many years. I remember when I was 19 years old, I started listening to Songs of the Keys of Life, which was one of Stevie Wonder's albums. I was 13 when he performed his very first album, Songs of the Keys of Life. And then we had Hot in July. Let me tell you. I'm gonna keep it real. Stevie Wonder was one of the greatest musicians there ever was. He was such a fabulous musician with so much to offer. Oh, yeah. Mm, oh, yeah. Mm. Let me think. Number one, when I tell you Stevie Wonder was the greatest musician in the world, and Stevie Wonder was such an amazing musician, the man had a lot to offer. This music world would never be what it is today if it had not been for music artists like him. He made a difference. Songs like that. The man was a true music genius and an amazing singer. And he was quite the artist. He really was. The man had it going on. He was a music legend, icon. Ebony and Ivory was another one that he did with Paul McCartney. Stevie Wonder will forever be the greatest musician in this music industry. He was such a true masterpiece. Mm. One of my favorite songs by him had to be Master Blaster. I like that one. And Higher Ground, that's another one I liked. Nah, the man was a true genius. The man was a genius in the music industry. Even though he couldn't see very well, he could show play the piano very well. Despite not being able to see that much, he was a true genius in the music world, a true genius. He proved that his sight did not stop him from playing music. He could still play even he definitely proved that not only is he a music artistry, his music will never go unnoticed. He definitely had so much to offer. He had worked with so many music artists. I mean, Happy Birthday was definitely a great Stevie Wonder song. Another, if you have a favorite Stevie Wonder song, you know, just let me know. It doesn't have to be a specific one. It could be one from any of his albums. My favorite had to be either Master Blaster or the other one. I'm telling you, this man could really play. Like now, Johnny Gill, on the other hand, Johnny Gill was a part of one of the greatest groups there ever was, New Edition. Now, Johnny Gill, he had some really good music too. Especially, I mean, My, that was one of my favorites. I love me some Johnny Gill. Now, Johnny had it going on back then. Mm. He had a couple songs with New Edition. He also had a few songs with that girl he was dating, Stacy Ledisol. Now, like Block Party was a classic. It was a classic with him and Stacy. I remember they were an item back in the day. Yeah, Johnny Gill and Stacy Ledisol, they were quite the item. But I don't know if they're still together or not. Probably not. But you know what? I enjoyed that one song he did with Stacy. Block Party was a good one. Oh, he had a couple of songs he did with Stacy. And Johnny Gill and Stacy Ledisol was quite the item back then. I see. Stevie Wonder was a very talented, what an amazing guy, such an amazing singer. Him and Johnny Gill were both quite amazing artists. I like Stevie Wonder because Stevie Wonder is a legend. The guy had so much to offer. Now, isn't she lovely? That was another one of my favorite another one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs. Now, Luther Vandross, on the other hand, he was born in July in Edison's, New Jersey. The late Luther Vandross, he was also another music legend. Songs like "A House Is Not a Home," "Let Me Hold You," that's another Stevie Wonder hit. Don't you know that? That was another another Luther Vandross hit. Luther Vandross was. I remember when he first appeared on the Oprah show. He was a lot skinnier back then when he was on the Oprah show. Yeah, Luther Vandross had in a he was a music legend. Yeah, Luther was the truth. Yeah, Luther Vandross was the truth and still is. I prefer skinny Luther over fat Luther. Fat Luther was too big for me, but skinny Luther had it going on. Yeah, but Luther Vandross, that one song he did with what's his name? Gregory Hines. That one song he did with Gregory Hines, so amazing. That was a classic Luther Vandross song. If This World Were Mine. I remember when Luther Vandross recorded that song. Kendrick Lamar took that song and made it his own. The rapper Kendrick Lamar took the song Luther sang and made it his own, featuring SZA. But let me tell you, I enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's version of Luther, but I like Luther's version way better. Don't get me started on people sampling other people's songs because, I can go all day. Kanye West took the song that Shaka Khan sang and made it his own. To the Wire. Now, I'm not a big Kanye West fan. I'm really not. I could care less about Kanye. But he's a Gemini, so I don't want to, no disrespect to all you Kanye fans, but I'm not a Kanye fan. To the Wire, that was Shaka Khan's song he took and he made it his own. But I simply enjoyed Kanye West's song To the Wire. I like the old Kanye. The old Kanye was way, way better than the. I don't know who this new Kanye is, but I know the old Kanye, the Jesus Walks Kanye. That's the Kanye I know. When It All Falls Down, featuring Selena Johnson. I like that one. That was my other favorite Kanye song. When It All Falls Down, featuring Selena Johnson. For real, like, I miss that. That's the Kanye we miss seeing. Not this Kanye. The new Kanye now is a bit, he didn't fell off. But the old Kanye didn't fell off, but the new one did. Hmm? Yeah, bring that Kanye back. Bring the old Kanye West back. I don't like this new version of Kanye. The new version then fell off completely. And that's all I got to say about that. When he did Gold Digger with JB Fox, that was good. That was a classic. That was old Kanye. When Kanye did I Heard Him Say with Adam Levine, that was old Kanye. Kanye West was one of the greatest artists of our time. But the new Kanye West then fell off. When he did Run This Town with Rihanna and Jay-Z. That was I couldn't. Yeah, like I said, bring that Kanye West back. That was the Kanye West we all enjoyed listening to. The new Kanye fell off a little bit. This new Kanye West, the new Kanye West then fell off a little bit. But the old Kanye, the one I mentioned earlier, bring that back. They need to bring that old Kanye West back. But no, I got a lot of mad love for Kanye. Not the old, not the new one, but the old one. But I'm not a fan. Mm-mm. It's no disrespect to all you Kanye West fans out there, but I'm not a fan. Mm-mm. I don't like Kanye West. I don't. Mm-mm. I really don't. Cause he fell off completely. Kanye West, the new Kanye West is officially washed out. I'm sorry, but the new Kanye West is officially washed out. The old Kanye West, they need to bring that back. Hmm. But yeah, definitely. You don't get me started with Usher. Now, Usher, on the other hand, I like him. You remind me, definitely a classic Usher song. I like the one he did with Ludacris and Little John. I'm gonna say, yeah, was definitely one of my favorites. DJ got us falling in love again. A great and amazing Usher song. I like Usher because Usher is a great artist. He's an amazing and he's a music legend, a great dancer. But what I don't like is that he literally every girl who goes to his concert, Usher be making them swoon. I feel bad for all the married men out there who is, you don't, if you're married out there and you take your girl to an Usher concert, you can't be mad because your wife, Usher, is making them swoon like that. So don't take your girl to an Usher concert. If you are a married man and you got a ring on your finger, do not take your girl to an Usher concert. Cause as soon as they see Usher on the stage, Usher gonna be the first one to make your girl swoon. So if you don't want Usher to make your girl swoon, don't take your girl to an Usher concert. I remember this one person, my best friend. He was 18, and when he married his first wife, him and his girl thought it was a good idea to take her to an Usher concert for her birthday. My best friend thought it was a good idea to take his wife to an Usher concert. After that, my best friend was never the same after that. That's why I say be careful when you go out there to an Usher concert. If you take your girl to an Usher concert and Usher ends up taking your woman, that's it. I would never take my girl to no Usher concert. I don't want Usher rubbing up against my woman. That's what happened to my best friend. When he got married, he thought it was a good idea to take his wife to an Usher concert. He ended up getting his girl took from him. So yeah, that's why I don't want you to make the same mistake my best friend made. If you're married and you know you got a ring on your finger, you know you cannot show your face at an Usher concert because you know Usher, he's known for taking people's women's and stuff like that. Usher is promiscuous. That's all I'ma say. Usher Raymond is promiscuous, and he's also known for stealing people's women's. Don't leave your girl around Usher. You see, that was a quote from one of his songs. Don't leave your girl around Usher because he might end up taking her. That's why I say, do not show your face at an Usher concert if you are married. Do not, and I repeat, do not show your face at an Usher concert. Mm-mm. My best friend tried that, and he thought it was a good idea to take his wife there. His wife ended up getting took. Mm, mm, mm. That's why I say don't do it. If you married, stay home. Mhm. No, I say, but I respect Usher, and I respect Usher as an artist, and I respect Usher as a man, and also as a great dancer. You don't have to call is one of my favorite Ushers. It's one of my favorite Usher songs. You don't have to call is one of my favorite Usher songs. I also like OMG featuring Will I Am. Oh, Will I Am. That was another classic Usher song. Usher and Will I Am. That was a great collaboration. OMG is one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I love, you know, the idea. Let's see. Hmm. Stevie Wonder is a great music artist. Stevie Wonder is a legend, one of the greatest. Mhm. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Let's talk about Stephanie Mills. Now, that's another music legend that we haven't touched on yet. Stephanie Mills. Nah, Stephanie Mills was another one. I don't know. Some of y'all might be too old for Stephanie Mills. Some of y'all might not know who she is. Some of y'all young generations today, all y'all know is sexy wet and Cardi B. That's all y'all know. But if y'all know Stephanie Mills, y'all older generations, y'all might know who she is. But y'all younger generations, y'all might not know. Stephanie Mills is a classic, another music legend, a lady, the lady of music, the woman that when I was younger, I been had a crush on her when I was younger. I remember when I know who she is because I think I heard of her when I was 19. The first song I listened to, Never Knew Love Like This Before. That was one of my favorite Stephanie Mills songs. Yes, Never Knew Love Like This. I love that song. Yes, Stephanie Mills is definitely a much a much older artist. She's a much older artist. I love Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills was a great, an amazing artist, an amazing singer. I love that song. Never knew love like this. I feel good all over. That was another classic Stephanie Mills song. Yeah, some of y'all younger generations, y'all might not know who she is. Some of y'all younger generations are way too young to know who she is. But some of y'all older generations, I know y'all know who she is. Yeah, Stephanie Mills is definitely an amazing artist, a beautiful woman, a beautiful older lady. You know I love Stephanie Mills. It definitely. Let's see. What about Patti LaBelle? Patti LaBelle was another one. Lady Marmalade. Oh, Lady Marmalade was my song back in the day. Yeah, Patti LaBelle was a good one. Yeah, Patti LaBelle, her song with Lady Marmalade was definitely a classic one. Let's see. Well. I'm the Marvin Gaye. Let's talk about Marvin Gaye. Y'all know who, I know y'all know who he is. Hmm. And Marvin Gaye was a classic. Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. That was a good song. Gotta give it up. That's another one. Another one. You can wipe the pot clean with that one. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Heard it through the grapevine. That was another Marvin Gaye song written by Marvin Gaye himself. Yeah, Marvin Gaye was born April. He had such he was quite the artist. He was I heard what happened to him, and it's a shame because you know he was shot by his father and at a very young age. I mean, him and his they got into it, his mother and his father, and something like that. I think so. I don't want to go into details about what happened, but I know what happened. His father was very abusive to him, very abusive. Yeah, Marvin Gaye's father was. Yeah, but he as a young man, this man turned music into tragedy. This man turned tragedy. No, this man turned tragedy into music, and he made so many amazing hits. Songs like "Sexual Healing," songs like "Let's Get It On." Heard it through the grapevine. Gotta give it up. I mean, this man has done a lot for the music business, for the music industry. I mean, yeah. I mean, Marvin Gaye was definitely a classic singer. I'm gonna be real. 59 years, multiple times. Let's see. Donny Hathaway, Roberta Flack, and Donny Hathaway. The closer I get to you. That was another great song. Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack. Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway. That was an amazing song. I remember when that song first came out. Yeah, it was quite the amazing. Luther Vandross and Beyonce sampled that song and made it their own. The closer I get to you, I remember when Luther and Beyonce sang that song. That was originally performed by Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway, but Luther and Beyonce made it their own. Let's see. Computer Love, Zapp and Roger. That was another classic song. Computer Love is amazing. Nah, I Want to Be Your Man by Zapp and Roger. Yeah, that was music back in the day. That was music. I say music was crazy back in the day. I'm talking about old school R&B. The Spinners. I'll Be Around. That was another classic song. I love that song. That was a stepping song that people used to step to on Friday nights. Yeah, this generation today might not know everything there is to know about music. This generation today has been terrible. Like the music we got now, Flash, Cardi B, Miss Mulatto, and all them. They're cool, but they ain't got nothing on R&B music. R&B music was music to the soul, right down to the T. I'm not judging these other artists. They're good. They're talented, but they ain't got nothing on R&B music. These R&B music artists today, like let's see, Frankie Beverly and Maze, Before I Let Go. Those hip hop artists have nothing on those R&B artists. Sade, Smooth Operator. Like I said, you can't beat the classics. You cannot beat the classics. Let's see. You, 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 wait, wait. I'm gonna be real. I enjoyed, you know, listening to R&B. I love Sade was definitely an amazing singer. Smooth Operator was my favorite song. Lovers Rock. Oh yeah, Lovers Rock was definitely a classic song. Cherish the Day. Cherish the Day was a good one. Etta James, My Last. The late Etta James. Let me tell you, My Last was one of my favorites. I remember the movie Cadillac Records. That movie stunk. I definitely did not like that movie. My review when Beyonce played Etta James in Cadillac Records, that was a the movie was trash. I didn't seen it 1,000 times. The movie was terrible in my book. Let me tell you, if Etta James was here right now, she would roll over in her grave watching that mess. I'm sorry, Cedric the Entertainer and Beyonce, they're both amazing human beings. They're both awesome, talented people. But at the same time, the movie Cadillac Records, it was terrible. Just the movie itself, just awful. So no, I did not like Cadillac Records. Beyonce's version of My Last by Etta James was good, but the movie itself, terrible. Nobody could do that song better than Etta James. Etta James was a living legend. Beyonce did her best. That's all I will say about the movie Cadillac Records. Beyonce did her best. But listen, that movie Cadillac Records, trash. I like all of Beyonce's other movies, but that one Cadillac Records, trash. Mm. But no, I'm gonna be real. I'm getting off topic here. No offense to my girl B. I love Beyonce. It's no shade towards her. But let me tell you, let me see. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Uh, Let's talk about Bobby Brown. Nah, Bobby Brown. Let's talk about the king, the original king of R&B. In my book, Bobby Brown is the king of R&B in my book. Bobby Brown will forever be the king of R&B in my book. Let me tell you, my prerogative. I love that song. The song that Whitney Houston and Bobby sang together. We got something in common. That was probably the only song that Bobby and Whitney ever did together. Yeah, Bobby Brown was a classic. You see, Bobby Brown was a legend. Mr. Telephone Man, Candy Girl. That was my jam back in the day. Y'all youngsters, y'all young cats, y'all don't know nothing about that. What y'all know about Candy Girl? That was Bobby Brown back in the number one. I'm gonna say Cool It Now with New Edition. Y'all young cats, y'all don't know nothing about that. But y'all older generation might know something about that. On Our Own, featuring from the soundtrack Ghostbusters. On Our Own is a classic Bobby Brown song. Let me tell you, I mean, we're taking it way back. And Johnny Gill had so many good songs, not just one, but he had so many good ones. Frankie Beverly and Mays had fantastic, amazing songs. How are you? Oh my goodness. I hope everything is fine out there. Yeah, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember the very first night of this September? The Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of my favorites. I enjoyed Earth, Wind, and Fire. They were quite. When I said I enjoyed Earth, Wind, and Fire, I enjoyed Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm gonna be real. September is is such a classic, such an amazing song. I like that song. I'm gonna be. Yeah. Let's see. Donna Summers, Hot Stuff. I love that song. He worked hard for the money. That was another classic Donna Summer song. Oh, Bad Girl, another Donna Summer song. Mhm. Yeah, that was another one. I enjoyed what was that one? Gloria Gaynor. I Will Survive. I love that song. Hey, Donna Summers, I Will Survive. That was a good one. I enjoyed every single. I'm gonna be real. I like, you know, Linkin Park is another one I liked. Linkin Park is a classic song. I'm Just a Kid by Linkin Park. That was I enjoyed that one. I love Linkin Park. And let's see. My Heart's a Stereo. I like that one too. That was a good one. Bruno Mars. He was quite the music artist himself. No, the sign of the times. Bruno Mars was a music artist, another living legend. Him and Silk Sonic, when they did Smoking Out the Windows, that was a good one. Leave the Door Open, that was another one. Silk Sonic, when they did Love Train by Radio, that was a good one. I like that one. Nah, Bruno had it going on, him and Silk Sonic. When he did Finesse featuring Cardi B, that was a banger. I remember, let me tell you, Bruno Mars had all these amazing songs. Eh, My favorite Bruno Mars song had to be I want to be a billionaire. That was a great Bruno Mars song. You can't beat the classics, like I say, you cannot beat the classics. And I mean, music was just beautiful all around. R&B right now is gone, but the music that we listen to will never go away. I like excuse me, I got so many artists on my Spotify. I got Robin Thicke on there too. Robin Thicke, I got Robin Thicke on my Spotify. I listen to a lot of music. I can't just listen to just one. I gotta have a whole variety of music in my catalog. Biggie Smalls, I got him on my Spotify. Hey, Tupac Shakur, I got Tupac on my Spotify. I think I got Avril Lavigne on my Spotify. Avril Lavigne is another classic artist. The song she sang, "Complicated," "Complicated" was a good one. Nah, "Complicated" was definitely a good one. "Big Girls Don't Cry" by Fergie. I like that one. Let me tell you, I didn't had a lot of time to progress and think and digress and think and digress and think and digress and think and digress. And yeah, they clown him, you know, because that's what they love to do. Even people we know, I'm not going to mention names, but they love to clown. I show up in people's chats. They like to make fun of me. They like to laugh. They like to clown. They be clowning me all the time. Like I said, I ain't gonna mention no names, but I had a few people clown and laugh and clown and laugh at me and clown and laugh and clown and laugh and clown. But that's okay though. It's all good. But yeah, be real. But I also enjoyed Genuine. Genuine is one of my other favorite artists that I have on there. But they say Genuine, the artist formerly known as Elgin Baylor Lumpkin, the artist formerly known as Genuine, has been busted open like a pinata. They said Genuine was also washed out. They said Elgin Baylor Lumpkin, they said Genuine was washed out. They said he couldn't do it no more. They said he stopped performing for a while. They said he had to take a break. They said a lot of people are saying Genuine is old. Genuine is this. Genuine is that. He's a lot of people in my neighborhood are saying he's washed out. He can't do it like he used to. But I remember back in the day, the song Pony was the song that was my favorite song. Pony was a classic song. Nah, Pony was a good one. Pony was a good one. I'm gonna say just because is another Genuine song of mine. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed watching them. Let me see. What's that one? I'm gonna say Silk. Silk was another one, a classic. Let me see. Silk was a good one. A Meeting in My Bedroom by Silk. That was a classic song. But we ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna say let me see. Did not blow your mind this time. The the song the Delphonics, that movie, that soundtrack was from the Jackie Brown soundtrack. Quentin Tarantino wrote that movie Jackie Brown. The song Did Not Blow Your Mind This Time was from that movie. I remember when that movie first came out, I remember watching it as a kid, and I've been hearing that song. It's been played in my head over and over again. Did Not Blow Your Mind This Time by the Delphonics. It Did Not Blow Your Mind This Time was a good song, an amazing song. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed watching that watching that movie. Now, Jackie Brown, shout out to Pam Grier. Pam Grier was an amazing artist. Pam Grier was quite the actress. She was quite the actress. I saw her in Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and she didn't do too bad on that TV show. Pam Grier is quite an amazing actress, but Pam Grier is old as dirt. But you know what? I like them that way. I enjoy them that way. I loved her in the movie Foxy Brown, and I loved her in Jackie Brown. And let me tell you, you understand where I came from. I came from an era where R&B existed back then. R&B was my thing back then. The Soul Train, the Soul Train when it first came on, you just had to sit in front of the TV and watch it. Remember back in the day, the Soul Train, that's where a lot of people came on and performed. That's where the Jackson Fives, they came on and they shined on that TV show. What was his name? The man who hosted the Soul Train, Don Cornelius. Yeah, I remember watching him on the big screen. Yeah, let me tell you, Don Cornelius had it going on back then. But yeah, as I always say, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. I'm sure she had a whole bunch of other songs just like it. Mr. Big Stuff, the Staple Singers. I like that song. Hey, that wasn't no Staple Singers. That was Jean Knight. Jean Knight. Hey, Evelyn the Champagne King. The song was called Shame by Evelyn Champagne King. I love that song too. That was a classic song. Casey and the Sunshine Band. I love that song. Get Down Tonight. That was a classic. I remember when life was simple back then. Diana Ross and the Supremes. When they did I mean I can it was so many songs that Diana Ross and the Supreme did. And, Diana Ross and the Supremes, they were quite the most amazing artists ever. They were amazing artists. I enjoyed watching Diana Ross and the Supremes. They were good. They were amazing artists. I'll give you that. Amazing artists. Let me see. Let me think. Hmm. Let me let me think. Let me think about it. Hmm. Sabrina the Teenage. No, let me see. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, Foolish. Ashanti. Ashanti was another amazing artist. I like that song. Rock with You by Ashanti. Ashanti was definitely a good music artist. The one who was married to that rapper Nelly. That's who Ashanti is married to now. I thought Ja Rule and Ashanti would be a good couple, but instead, you married Nelly instead. Ashanti and Ja Rule had quite amazing songs on there. They had like What's Love Got to Do with It? What's Love featuring Fat Joe and Ja Rule and Ashanti? Mesmerize. Yeah, Ja Rule and Ashanti, they had quite the chemistry. But it's a shame that she ended up with Nelly and not him. But you know what? That's okay. Speaking of Ja Rule is from New York, and so is Ashanti. Ashanti is from New York too. Yeah, and yet you still married Nelly instead. That's okay. Listen, I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying. I'm stating facts. Ja Rule and Ashanti are both from they both live in the same city but in different areas. That's okay though. You know what? Eh, I enjoyed one of my favorite Ja Rule songs had to be, let's see, when I tell you Ja Rule and Ashanti, they were magic together. They were magic together. When I see them both on stage together, it's like they were quite the inseparable pair. But no, my favorite Ja Rule song had to be "Do I Do." It's a "Living It Up" featuring C's. Yeah, I like that one. Nah, that was my favorite Ja Rule song. Living It Up" featuring C's. Yeah, I like that one. That was my favorite Ja Rule song. My other favorite Ja Rule song had to be when Bobby Brown and Ja Rule were both on the same soundtrack. Yeah, I like that one. I That was classic Bobby Brown. That was back in the day, Bobby Brown. Yeah, him and Ja Rule, they were quite the duo. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, Murder Inc. son, long live Murder Inc. Yeah, Ja Rule was a bad boy in New York. He was quite. I remember watching him in that movie he was in, The Preacher's Wife. Was it The Preacher's Wife? I think it was The Preacher's Wife. But nah, that movie he was in, it was a good movie. I remember watching him in that scary movie. He was in the scary movie with Anna Faris, and Ja Rule was in there. Ja Rule played the president's security guard in that movie. But let me tell you, I'm gonna be real. Let's see. Isn't Fat Joe? Fat Joe is from New York too. Yeah, Fat Joe lives in New York also. Well, you know, my favorite is Lean Back. Lean Back was definitely another classic, a classic song. That's like, that's like old. That's like we're taking it way back. I like the song Lean Back because it was Remy Ma and the Terror Squad. They did their thing out there. I enjoyed, you know, before this hip hop thing took off, before Cardi B and Miss Mulatto came along, hip hop was fine the way it was. But then all of a sudden, the game changed because it had all these new artists who are not like all these other artists. Nobody in the hip hop game right now has nothing on Fat Joe. If Fat Joe was definitely the truth, he was a hip hop legend. A Ja Rule, a hip hop legend. Nas featuring P. Diddy, Hate Me Now. Hate Me Now was definitely another classic song. I like Nas. Nas was definitely another hip hop legend. What was that one song? Do you remember Oh Boy featuring Cameron? I do remember that. Yeah, I like that one. Oh Boy featuring Cameron. Yeah, I that was another classic song. Yeah, I Get High, another classic song. That was Style P. Yeah, Style P. Style P. I get high all the time. That was that was a Style P. One of my favorite songs. Yeah, I Get High by Style P. Let's see. Those were the songs that I remember growing up as a kid. Let's see. Mike Jones, Stay Flossin'. Another one. Mike Jones, Stay Flossin'. I remember when Mike Jones came up on the scene back then. That was a classic Mike Jones song. No, these are one of my favorite songs. Style P, I Get High by Style P. Yeah. Remember that song he did with Rick Ross? Big Meesh. Big Meesh. Yeah. That was with Style P was on there too. Another classic song. I'm gonna be real. How are you, Classy Kitchens Vlogs? Let's see. Let me, number one. I'm gonna be real. I actually like my favorite. Let me think. Do you remember back in the day? Oh, that song you was talking about, that was on the movie Soul Plane with Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. Yes, I Get High. Yes, that's from the movie Soul Plane. Yep, Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg did a good job in that movie. Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg did an amazing. They did a good job. I remember watching Soul Plane. I was watching Soul Plane last night. That song I Get High was in that was in that movie. Yeah, that song was part of that movie. Hmm. Soul Plane was a classic. Nah, Soul Plane, you can't beat the classics. Eh, Kevin Hart, yeah, he was that dude back in the day. I'm gonna be real. You want to talk about Will Smith? The man is no longer in Philly. He went back to his roots. He went back to California where the TV show Fresh Prince took place. Will Smith, the next time you see Will Smith, he's not going to be in Philly. He's going to be in California. He left Philadelphia. He went back to California. I had no idea. Yeah, Will Smith is a California boy. His family moved with him. His wife Jada Pickett, his son Jayden Smith, his daughter Willow Smith, they all went with him back to Cali where his roots, where the Fresh Prince first started. Yeah, so the next time you see Will Smith is in California. Let me tell you. I mean, The Rock lives in California too. The wrestler, yes, Dwayne Johnson does live in California. He stays in Hayward. You got so many. Why did Will Smith move back to Cali? Why didn't he stay in Philly? I don't know. You have to go ask him why he moved back to California. I tell you. That's where the TV show took place. Fresh Prince. I remember when the TV show first came on. When I was a kid, I was like 19 or 20 when the TV show Fresh Prince first aired. I mean, that was you. I hope you know that. I mean, let me tell you. Speaking of the Fresh Prince, why did he not take me with him? If Will Smith was gonna move back to Cali, why did he not take me with him? He should have took me with him, but he didn't. It's a shame. I'm stuck here in Texas. The next time I see Will Smith, I'ma say, "Why did you not take me to California with you? How come I can't come with you to California? Why you ain't take me with you?" Mm, I mean, I am the prince. He should have he should have taken me, but he said he didn't have no room in his California home, so I respected that. The man told me he had no room in his California home, so I had to like stay here in Texas for a while. I tell you. But yeah, I would say I'm gonna be real right now. The first things first. Number 5, Aretha Franklin and Kirk Franklin, they both sound alike. Yeah, Aretha Franklin and Kirk Franklin, they both got the same name, but it's no relation to any of them. Kirk Franklin is a gospel singer, and Aretha is a music legend. They're not brother and sister. I know they got the same name, but they're not. They're not in a. Kirk Franklin is I think he's a married man, and Aretha Franklin, I believe that she was the queen of soul. Lots of people are starting to think that they've been linked to each other, but I don't see nothing that has been said on Google about them being linked to one another. Nope. I see nothing at all. It's just because they have the same last name does not mean they're linked to each other. No, they're not. I'll be real. Tammy Collins, him and yeah, let me see, Kirk Franklin and Tammy Collins. They've been married for a long time, since 1996. That's how long him and his wife been married. Him and his wife, they've been married for a while. So yeah, Kirk Franklin and Tammy Collins, they look good together. They look amazing together. Yeah, her and Kurt have been together since 1996. And I'm gonna be real. I don't see nothing nowhere that says Aretha and Kurt are linked to each other. So just because they got the same last name does not mean they're linked to each other. I'm be real. That's just how it is. Who has prettier sideburns? You or your cousin? Who has prettier sideburns? I would say I do because I shaved them all off. You see, I shaved my sideburns, I shaved them off too. I got the prettier sideburns. Let me tell you. But yeah, I will see you when I see you tonight.